Hey everyone, and welcome back to StudyLeap.pk. So you're dreaming of studying in beautiful Portugal, right? Well, you have definitely come to the right place.
In this guide, we are going to break down absolutely everything you need to know to get your hands on a Portuguese study visa for 2026. And look, our goal is super simple. We want to give you a crystal clear, step-by-step roadmap so you can turn that university acceptance letter into a plane ticket.
All right, we've got a lot to cover. We're going to start with the big picture, then jump right into picking the right visa, tackle that all-important document checklist, talk about the costs you need to know, and finally, cover what to expect with processing times. So yeah, let's just dive right in.
Okay, first things first, let's talk about this journey. You've done the hard part. You've chosen Portugal. Now this visa, it's just the final bridge you need to cross to make that academic dream a reality.
I know, the whole visa application process can feel like this huge, intimidating mountain. But trust me, it doesn't have to be that way. We're going to break it all down for you, piece by piece, into simple, manageable steps.
So, where do we start? Well, you have to choose the right path from the get-go. And this is so important, because picking the wrong visa can literally stop your entire plan right in its tracks.
All right, so Portugal basically has two main types of long-stay visas. On one hand, you've got the temporary stay visa. Think of this for shorter stuff, programs under a year, like an exchange program or an internship. But for most of you watching, the ones going for a full degree, you're going to be looking at the residence visa. That's the one for studies lasting more than a year.
So long story short, if you're signing up for a bachelor's or a master's program, the residence visa is your ticket. It's built for that long-term study plan, and that's exactly what we're going to focus on from here on out.
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. This is probably the most detailed and most important part, your document checklist. I can't stress this enough. Getting your paperwork 100% perfect is non-negotiable. You've got to get this right.
So, the big question is, what do you actually need to get together? And yeah, it might look like a long list at first glance, but believe me, getting everything perfectly organized from day one is the absolute best thing you can do to avoid any headaches or delays down the road.
Think of your application as having 5 main pillars. You absolutely need your completed visa form, that exciting university acceptance letter, a valid police character certificate, that's just to show you meet the requirements, mandatory travel insurance, and the photos. And these photos have some very strict rules. Seriously, if you're missing even one of these things, your application just won't be accepted, period.
And speaking of those photos, you really need to listen up here. Your photo has to be perfect. This is one of the top reasons applications get sent back as incomplete, so let's make sure we nail this. Okay, the rules for the photo are super specific. It has to be in color, on good quality paper, and no more than 6 months old. Make sure it's taken against a light background. And check out the dimensions. It's got to be 35 to 40 millimeters wide. The key thing is that your face needs to fill up about 70 to 80% of the whole picture, with absolutely no hair covering your eyes.
And hey, if you wear glasses or a headdress, this part's for you. Glasses? Totally fine. But you can't have any reflections, no tinted lenses, and the frames can't block your eyes at all. A religious headdress is also allowed, but your chin, your forehead, and both cheeks have to be completely and clearly visible. And absolutely no shadows on your face. They're really strict about that.
All right, moving on to everyone's favorite topic, money. Let's talk about the costs and fees. It's really important to know what to budget for, but the good news is it's actually pretty straightforward.
So here's the breakdown. The main visa fee is actually the same whether you're getting the long-stay residence visa or the shorter temporary one. But, and this is important, on top of that, there's a separate service fee you also have to plan for. Let's put a number on it. The main fee you need to have ready is 110 euros. That's the official government fee to get your residence visa application processed. And here's a super crucial detail you can't forget. There's an extra service fee of 38 euros. And the key thing here, you have to pay this in cash at the application center. Seriously, don't show up without it and get caught off guard. Okay, we are almost there. We've reached the final hurdle, actually submitting your application. And then, of course, the waiting game. Knowing what to expect with the timeline is really important here.
So, what does this journey look like? Well, the day you submit your application, a clock starts ticking. And you need to know, this is a pretty long processing period. You won't hear anything about a decision until that whole period is over.
Yep, you're reading that right. We're talking about a minimum of 90 days. 90! And you've got to keep in mind, that time frame can even be extended if the embassy decides they need to take a closer look at your application.
And look, don't just take our word for it. This is straight from the embassy's official guidance. They say, and I quote, "Please be sure to submit your visa application well in advance to avoid any inconveniences." I mean, the message here could not be any clearer. Do not leave this to the last minute.
So to pull this all together, what are the biggest takeaways? First, for a degree program, you need the residence visa. Second, that document checklist, it needs to be 100% complete, no excuses. Third, follow those photo rules exactly. Fourth, budget for both fees, the €110 visa fee and that €38 cash service fee. And finally, the most important rule of all, apply at least 90 days before you need to fly. Better yet, even earlier.
If you follow these steps, you're putting yourself in the absolute best position to get that visa approved. Yeah, it takes some serious attention to detail, but that adventure waiting for you in Portugal, it is worth every single bit of the effort. So, the only question left is, are you ready to take the leap?
For more helpful guides just like this one, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to us here at StudyLeap.pk. Thanks for watching.